Hey everybody, it's morning tarot time and it is the final day of the Suit of Pentacles, and that also means the final day of the minor arcana. So I've done all the swords and we did the cups and we did the wands, and now we're finishing the pentacles, which means there's just the major arcana to go. And for anyone who's stuck with me while I've been doing this series, thank you very much. I know it's been a lot of videos. Anyone who's not interested in tarot has probably not got a huge amount out of it. I know they're not massively popular videos, but I just really got a kick out of doing them. So another week or so and I'll be through. So hang in there. All right, let's start off today. So it's the King, the Queen and the Ace of Pentacles. I'll get my King up here. Okay, so Pentacles being that earthy sign, that kind of feeling of material success or wealth or achievement, or working really hard to attain your goals. I don't know how this is going to come out. It looks like stop motion filming as I'm doing this. I can just see it out the corner of my eye. Anyway, so the King of Pentacles represents for me the kind of person who really has done that, who's worked through those steps, who's worked very hard for what they have, who's gone bit by bit by bit, who has not given up. It's somebody who is a very successful person. When you see this card in the spread, I think it does represent somebody who's very successful. Often I think it is financially successful and materially successful in their career. This is somebody who's in a very solid, very stable position. This is someone who's worked and really invested over a long period of time to build themselves up, to create the kind of business they want or the kind of lifestyle they want or kind of family they want, and they've shown that sort of commitment to it and they've achieved that, and they're in that position now of great stability. There's a very solid feeling about this card. This is a real kind of solid character for me. This is not somebody who's flighty, not somebody who is bouncing off the walls with ideas. They do have energy. I mean, there is the kind of the yellow colour of energy here, but it's not a kind of physical shifting around moving energy. It's more kind of a focused energy. This is somebody who is very good at focusing on something, and they don't give up. You know, they have that kind of almost like dogmatic sort of quality to them where they'll just hold on to something, and these are people that never give up. So you're looking at somebody here who has not given up, who no matter what, they have continued to strive, they've continued to strive. So this is the kind of person who has a great deal, I think, of inner strength. And it's that idea of success. I often do think that this can represent somebody who is very often an older person, just because in most cases it really takes a process of years and different steps throughout the lifetime to reach this kind of place of security, a place where you feel that you can kind of relax a little bit and enjoy what you have. And I think that's what the King of Pentacles does. He's a strong leader in the sense that he is somebody who will think things through, who will make the wise decisions, the prudent decisions. I do feel that the King of Pentacles sometimes as a character or personality could do with looking a bit more into their emotions and thinking about their feelings, because they are such incredibly practical people and they will make the practical decision. They will not make the emotional decision. I think it's somebody who may have taken risks perhaps previously, but they're not massive risk takers either. They've taken calculated risks to get where they are. And you can see, I mean, he's in a very rich setting. His clothing here is covered in the grapes, which we looked at when we looked at the lady who was in the Nine of Pentacles. They're kind of representing that kind of richness and that full-bodied quality of a very well-rounded, very rich situation in life, not necessarily just financially rich. Shining off the cards, you can't see it very well, I'm afraid, but also rich in the ways that a person can be rich. He's sitting on a very solid throne. This throne has like kind of balls on the back. I mean, this is real kind of Taurus feel, like a real earth Taurus feels this throne. It's very strong, solid stone throne that he's sitting on, because he's in a very solid and stable position. He's probably quite a stable character himself as well. So this is somebody that you can probably go to for support if you need somebody who can be a rock for you. This is someone who will be a rock for you. The thing that I do notice a little bit as well is in the background, if you look carefully, which you can't see too well on camera here, the buildings are actually kind of decaying a little bit in the background. They're sort of falling down and crumbling. So even though he's in a very strong position, he's in a strong seat, he's surrounded by, you know, his own wealth and the wealth of the life that he has led, and this kind of feeling of security and stability. In the background, this slight kind of crumbling makes me think this person is very traditional, a real traditionalist, and probably doesn't really like too much change. It doesn't like to move with the times. I think that also, as well as perhaps being someone who would benefit from getting more in touch with their emotional self. This is also somebody who finds it difficult to move with the times, and someone who finds it difficult to make big changes. And so you will get that kind of feeling of age about them sometimes. And, you know, one of those people who might be a little bit old before their time, or complain about young people today. And in my day, we had to go uphill both ways to get to work, that kind of thing. There was something else I was going to say about this card. You know, I can't think what it was. Oh yeah, I mean, this is somebody, because they've worked so hard for what they have, this is a kind of character that really understands, which I think is quite a fundamental thing, that success is not just a goal that you reach and you've got there. Success is something you have to work on every day. So if you are working in a business and you bring out a product and it's very successful, you've not succeeded at business. You've succeeded with that product, but you have to keep backing it up with the next thing, the next thing, and the next thing. So when you have a situation where somebody's very successful one time and then they think they can rest on their laurels and sit back and not keep up the work, and remember that through the Pentacles we've seen how important it is to have that kind of work ethic and work hard at things that are important to you, then they will fail. So this person is somebody who understands that success is a continual process and who can put forth that continual energy. He reminds me as a character, if anybody watches the UK Apprentice, of Sir Alan Sugar. I think in the US, is it Donald Trump who does yours? I don't really know. Well, he's like the character. Certainly Alan Sugar, someone who come from very kind of humble beginnings, came from a very sort of poor working class family, and has worked it up to become like this kind of multi-billionaire, millionaire mogul, very successful, but was also kept in touch with his roots, and is just a very kind of practical guy. You could easily see him still on a market stall selling fruit and veg, as well as running a business empire, because he's so down to earth. Okay, next, the Queen of Pentacles. And of course, all these court cards do represent different elements and different kinds of personalities within that same genre of person. The Queen of Pentacles brings that kind of earthy practicality, that steadiness, that stability, that security. I feel that she brings that. I'll just see if I can move that so you can see the card a bit better. Got a lot of glare coming off my screen today. She brings that kind of energy in a more of a kind of an Earth Mother nurturing sort of way. There are similarities between the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress card from the Major Arcana, which I actually didn't pull out, but I'll perhaps bring her back up when we do the Empress next week. And because she is like the King of Pentacles on kind of a beautiful sort of solid throne, and he is surrounded by kind of his grapes and the fruits of his success, and in a very rich setting with this kind of, you know, slightly crumbling background because he doesn't like change. And the Queen as well is in a very rich kind of background setting, but hers is different. His is very much the setting of kind of material things. It's a castle, the stuff that he's built and created, whereas the Queen is sitting in a very natural setting. So it's a very rich kind of fertile grounds and all this beautiful kind of growth around her. And I think that really talks about the fact that she is very much an Earth Mother. She has a lot of nurturing qualities, a lot of kind of those traditional, what we think of as motherly qualities. And this card doesn't have to represent a mother. No, actually it doesn't. You don't have to physically be an actual mother for this card. And also it doesn't have to be a woman, but it's somebody who is a real nurturer, is a very supportive person, someone who kind of connects with that earth energy. It's like a kind of a contrast to the kind of material energy that comes with the King. You've got this kind of natural kind of inner energy that comes with the Queen. And if you look at the way she's holding her pentacle in her lap, she's just cradling it. You can't really see very well. She gets really kind of loving gaze as she looks down. It's like she's actually holding a baby or a child, because she really is bringing that energy of mother and support. So this is someone you could go to who would be a very calm kind of person, who would really be a great support. This is somebody who empowers people, who really gets pleasure and joy and gets kind of their kicks, if you like, out of empowering other people, out of watching people grow, out of nurturing, out of looking after people and taking care of people. And also herself. I mean, you can tell that this is somebody who has that balance right, because it's so easy for us when we are nurturing people to want to give so much to other people and to completely invest yourself in their growth and what they're doing, and then neglect the self. Whereas the Queen of Pentacles is going to show you that this is somebody who either has those qualities where they can nurture and protect and care for themselves, and understand that caring for yourself in that kind of way is what means that you are able to care for others and support other people. Or perhaps, depending on the cards around it, it might indicate that somebody needs to remember that, and remember that if you want to be an effective nurturer, effective support, a good friend, a good partner, a good colleague, then you need to also make sure that you look after your own interests as well. So this is kind of a card of self and others, because staring down at that pentacle, as well as it looking a bit like a baby or a child, is also kind of like an inner reflection. It's looking at your own desires and your own kind of wants and needs, and making sure you take care of yourself as a primary point to mean that you're able to take care of other people. And it's I think I've said it about 7 times now, Earth Mother. It's a real kind of Earth Mother sort of card for me. I mean, there's a real calm about this, and a real feeling of steady, gentle growth. This kind of roses over the top. So like the King, this is probably not someone who's incredibly emotional, doesn't like bounce off the walls. This is somebody who has that steadiness, that connection. Probably when you're in their presence, you just kind of, you know, you feel like you can relax, and they probably talk fairly softly, but you know, someone who listens a lot, listen much and speak less, listens to other people. And finally, we have the Ace of Pentacles, which would be kind of a short one, because the Aces, as with all the others, being this kind of amazing, almost like a gift card that just comes to you, that's reaching out, offering you this amazing gift. And it represents all the kind of the best aspects, the great things about the suit of Pentacles. So when you get this card, and you're looking at, I think it's very, very lucky. They're all lucky, the Aces. But this one's very lucky. Certainly, especially I'm thinking of financial way, because it's literally like there's a hand coming out offering you a huge coin. So if somebody is, for example, just started a business, the business is likely to be very successful, financially successful. If somebody is starting on a course of study, it's probably going to lead them to a good job, into a stable place. If somebody is starting out on a relationship, or not necessarily starting out, but you're discussing a relationship aspect in that part of the spread, and this is a relationship that is going to bring stability and nurturing. So when you see this card, you think of an indication that there's going to be either great financial stability, or lots of kind of money. There's going to be job stability. There's going to be a lot of nurturing and support. There's going to be hard work is going to pay off with great success. Whenever you see this card, it's just a lovely, it's a very, very lucky card to have that. It's like pennies from heaven coming forward to you. And it's another gate card, as you can literally physically see the gate here. You know, it's showing you, here's the path through this beautiful kind of verdant lush gate into the beyond. And so it's like, okay, you're going to have this amazing sort of success or stability, or this kind of culmination of something that you've worked on and that you've worked hard for. And when that happens, you'll just be ready to pass through and go on to the next phase, because it's going to be kind of a real feeling of complete success and completion, something that's satisfying in an inner way as well as materially. All right, there we go. Hope you all had a lovely week, and hope you've all got some great plans for the weekend, etc. And I will be back next week to do the Major Arcana and finish up my little tarot series. So I will catch you later. Bye bye.